Welcome to Registrar Training. We're glad that you're taking the time to get trained for your position. This is a list of the objectives for this course. By the end of this course, you will know the requirements and responsibilities of your position as registrar, you'll know the use of forms, resources, and the training opportunities available to you, you'll know the support system in place for the position, and you'll know your role within the service team. All service team members are held to certain requirements. The top 5 are shown on the slide, and additional requirements are listed on your position description. The top 5 are membership in Girl Scouts of the United States of America, successfully completing an online background check every 3 years, completing the training or educational sessions as required for the position, having access, ability, and willingness to use the internet, email, and other technology, and of course, learning, promoting, and supporting the Girl Scout program. Take a look at your position description and make sure that you understand all of these requirements. These are the principal duties for the Service Unit Registrar. Alert the membership specialist and follow up on the troops, girls, and adults who fail to re-register. Understand and promote Personify, registering girls and adults online, and donating to Family Partnership. Educate troop leaders on the tools available in Personify. Work with the service unit organizer to ensure placement of girls and adults. Ensure the troop leaders maintain copies of the registration forms signed by the parent or guardian when troop is registering girls, and act as a liaison between Girl Scouts of the Chesapeake Bay registrars and the service unit, and assist Girl Scouts of the Chesapeake Bay registrar in solving problems and discrepancies in a timely manner. Additionally, you are to verify registrations for accuracy and reconcile all monies and submit the registrations within 7 days to Girl Scouts of the Chesapeake Bay, ensure the registration of all individually registered members in the service unit, work with the product program managers to ensure newly registered troops have access to the fall product and cookie programs, process registration forms for members not registering online, including scholarships, and forward the membership dues and completed forms to the GSCB registrar within 7 days. Ensure that all additions to troops are registered promptly. Submit change of troop forms to the GSCB registrar within 7 days. Maintain a list of opt-out girls and adults for the service unit, and facilitate the early bird registration for the service unit. This is your Service Unit Registrar position description. If you agree to be the registrar and adhere to the requirements and responsibilities that we just reviewed, please sign the form and return it to your Service Unit Manager. There is also a self-assessment form that you can complete to ensure that you're progressing in the position. This form stays with you and your Service Unit Manager. On the screen, you'll see the registration area codes. This is the list of codes for the school districts in your service unit. This code will be used on the registration summary form. There are 2 ways for people to register: the paper process and the online process. The paper process is only used for girls who are being scholarshiped, girls who have reached the 500+ club, or graduating seniors. All others can use the online process, which is much more efficient and effective. This is the paper registration process. It begins with the parent or guardian completing the form and writing a check to the troop. The troop leader then collects the forms and money, completes the registration summary form, deposits the cash and checks into the troop account, submits the form's registration summary and payment to the service unit registrar. The service unit registrar then prepares the registration materials for submittal and delivers or mails the registration packets to either the Membership and Community Development Specialist for the area or the Council Registrar. This is what everyone's role is in the online or e-business process. Parent or guardian completes the online registration and pays with a credit card or debit card, and they're able to print out the registration card. The troop leader submits the O1's name and email to the service unit registrar, and then uses the troop maintenance module to print rosters and check membership status. Then she submits those rosters to the service unit registrar. The service unit registrar keeps the list of all the O1s for the troops, maintains copies of the troop rosters for the service unit, and works with the council registrar to follow up on any problems. This is the girl member registration form that will be filled out whether you're doing the paper process or the e-business process. Make sure that each girl fills out a form if they're doing the paper process. We will take a moment to go through each section so that you're familiar with the form. You want to make sure that parents have filled in all the appropriate information in both the girl information and demographics section of the form. The more complete, the better. The demographics section is mandatory. When moving towards online registration, the grade and birth date are required to process the registration. Remind leaders and parents that Girl Scouts collects information on race and ethnicity to ensure we are serving girls of all backgrounds and from all communities. This information is only used for statistical purposes. Under the parent sections, if the address is the same as the girl, all the parent needs to do is check the box, "Address is same as girl." Then they can fill out their employment information, email address, and contact numbers. There is also the option of opting out of receiving text messages and emails. In the next section of the form, there's a permission section. This is where parents can opt out of having their child's photo taken. If the parents don't want their child photographed or videographed, all they need to do is check the box. The payment and donation section has been moved to the right-hand side of the form so that it's in a better location and parents are more able to locate the section and hopefully fill them out. These tips are a great reminder of what you need to look for on the forms. Make sure that either new or re-registering has been checked. Remember that a new girl is a girl who has never been registered as a Girl Scout. A re-registering girl is one who has been in Girl Scouting previously, even if not consecutively. Make sure that any demographic information has been edited, that if a girl is serving in a leadership role, that the position code and troop and group number that she's working with are noted. Make sure there's an email address. This is useful for troop leaders, service team, and council program staff. Check for the parent or guardian's signature. It's important that on paper processing, we have the parent or guardian's signature. On the top right corner, make sure that the correct membership year is filled in. On the bottom right corner, please fill in the council code of 200, the troop number, and the service unit. And remember that the service unit is 6 plus the service unit number. The same guidelines apply to the adult registration. However, if the adult is registering as an individual, not affiliated with a troop, just leave that space blank and code them to the service unit. Now we will go through the sections of this form so you are familiar with them as well. Again, with the adult registration forms, you want to make sure they are filled out as completely as possible. Demographics are important on adults as well as girls in making sure that we are truly reflective of our communities and inclusive. The date of birth for adults also allows us to get a better idea of how our larger age brackets break down. The participation section of the form is mandatory for adults to complete. In the participation section of the form, adults are able to check off all that apply. For example, if someone was a Girl Scout, has a child in the troop, and volunteers for another daughter's troop or on the service team, they can choose volunteer, parent, and Girl Scout alumna. If they check volunteer, the next section asks for the specific way they serve and to list the troops or service units they are working with. After that section is where they too can opt out of any imaging for themselves and sign that they agree to abide by the Girl Scout law. The last sections of the form deal with lifetime membership and payment or donation. The option to be a lifetime member is on this form for any adult or senior Girl Scouts, as they will be recognized as adults once they graduate high school. To become a lifetime member, the person simply has to check the box and pay the fee. Graduating seniors must submit a paper registration with payment by September 30th to receive the discount. Council has to process the application as a discount is being applied to the registration fee. An adult or graduating high school senior may register as a lifetime member on the adult member registration form. Should the member choose to become a lifetime member, make certain the form is complete and there's a check mark in the appropriate box in the lifetime membership section of the form. The form will be submitted with your typical registrations. Just make sure to note them on the registration summary form. Graduating high school seniors get a discount, but can only apply on paper forms as they have to be processed by council in order to receive the discount. Review the registration form for complete name as it should appear on the membership card, full address including zip code, and if you have their current ID number, include it. If a lifetime membership is a gift, check for the donor information. For graduating seniors, the discounted rate is only available until September 30th. But don't wait until September 30th to send it in. It must be processed no later than September 30th to receive the discounted rate. So make sure you get it in early in the month of September. This is the member registration summary and should be filled out every time you process registrations. Let's take a closer look. On the membership registration summary, make sure that the volunteer has noted the troop number, service unit area, registration area, and council code. They will usually know their troop number and service unit number. The rest are iffy at best. It's easiest if when you have your registration meeting with the service unit that you give them a form with the information already filled in as a guide. Remember, the registration area depends on the school district, and the council code is always 200. Also, make sure that they've put the correct ending year for the current membership year in the upper right-hand corner. This ensures that the girls and adults are registered to the correct membership year. It's the responsibility of the service unit registrar to edit the forms for the following information. Edit them for the council code, troop number, whether the new or re-registering has been checked, the report code, and the registration area. Check the appropriate term that best describes the primary way in which these girls participate. Program duration, which is how long the troop meets throughout the year, the frequency of program, which is how many times the troop meets, and the grade level, what best represents the troop on a whole, and if there are multiple grade levels, have the leaders pick all of them. On the next section of the form, make sure the following is complete and accurate. The type of meeting place, mark the box that best describes where the troop meets, that the meeting day and location are included, that the time of the meeting is included, that the name of the location and address of the location where the troop meets is listed. Edit the number of girls, adults, and the amount received from the troop. Check the arithmetic for correct amounts under girl and adult dues and total amount. Remember, the total amount of dues is the amount of money that the troop has received and attached. Donations received are noted below that. Other monies include scholarships or 500 plus club certificates. The total is all of those amounts together. Similar accounting is done for lifetime registrations. However, they are counted separately to make sure the paperwork is reviewed and designated properly. The last section of the form is where you can break out how the money was paid, how many people paid by checks in their total, how many paid with cash, etc. The others have a nice line so that you can fill in how many girls are paying with 500 plus club certificates or how many are receiving scholarships. Once you receive all the registrations from the troops, you will fill out a registration summary. This is a form where you will compile all the data from the registrations being submitted to either the Membership and Community Development Specialist or the Council Registrar. You will note each troop's totals in the form and then attach it to the registrations you are submitting. Make a copy for your records to track what you have done. Even though the same forms are used regardless of paper or online registration, the online process is much less labor-intensive as the parents and guardians will be able to do it for themselves. They only need to have access to a computer with internet and a credit card or debit card to be able to register. Personify is the database system that Council uses to process our online registrations. Members, or those who have purchased a Girl Scout membership, have different access to Personify. They have the ability to manage their profiles, renew their membership, donate to Girl Scouts. While members have access to only their information, troop leaders are given more abilities through Personify. Troop leaders, and only one per troop, will be able to manage the troop's information through the Troop Maintenance module. This module allows them to manage troop members' addresses and contact information, update the troop's meeting location and time, print rosters and membership cards for troop members, as well as email all troop members or selected troop members with just a few clicks. So now that we know who has access to what in the Personify environment, how do we get started? To access Personify, just go to our homepage at www.gscb.org. You'll see the icon that is on the screen on our homepage. Once you click it, you'll actually be able to get to the modules that you're authorized to access. You also will be able to go to any tutorial videos to make sure that you know exactly how Personify works. Personify has several videos that you can watch in order to be able to use the system to the best of its ability. If you click on any of the buttons listed here, it will take you to the video about that subject. If you don't need to view any of the videos, or have finished watching them, just click the next button to go to the next slide. In preparation for registration, one of your duties is to hold registration meetings for the leaders in your service unit. The following slides detail a timeline to follow when holding registration meetings. Prior to the meeting, you want to meet with your service unit manager and service team to set a date, time, and place for the meeting. Then you want to send a letter, email, or postcard to all troops, notifying them of the registration meeting and any necessary information that they must bring. If troops are doing paper registrations, please advise them to write one troop check, if at all possible, for the registrations. Set up computers to help facilitate online registration. And of course, recruit any extra help that you will need. Consultants and organizers are extremely helpful at events like this. During the meeting, make any general remarks concerning procedures, completion of forms, etc. that you feel are necessary. Remember, if the leaders are registering the entire troop, make sure that they have all the girls' forms with parent and guardian signatures. This allows them to register the girls themselves instead of having the parents and guardians register them. Make sure to thank the leaders for their cooperation. Check all forms carefully. If possible, do this in the presence of the leader to immediately correct any mistakes. And of course, ensure that money on paper corresponds to the check and any cash that's being given. If at all possible, get a troop check for the entire amount of the registration. After the meeting, review all completed troop registration forms, fill out the summary of registrations, contact troops that have not submitted registrations, place the completed registration forms, summaries, and check in an envelope, and return the packets to your Membership and Community Development Specialist or the Council Registrar as soon as possible. Assist the Council Registrar in all follow-up work upon request, assist leaders with any additional girl or adult registrations, and create a system for tracking the registrations in your service unit. Troop number assignment is usually done by the Service Unit Registrar through their Membership and Community Development Specialist. There are a specific set of troop numbers for every service unit. They are assigned to the service unit, and a complete list of the numbers that are available for new troops is given to the Service Unit Registrar annually in August and September. Part of starting a new troop is filling out the appropriate paperwork. The following list is when to fill out a troop authorization form. It's filled out whenever a service unit starts a new troop or changes leadership in an existing troop. It can be done with registrations or separately. Council Registrar will issue the leader listed on the form the materials for a new troop and a copy of the troop authorization form with the issued troop number. This is what the troop authorization form looks like. This form will note that a new troop has been started and will authorize the leader of the troop to receive startup funds in the amount of $25. Please fill it out as completely as possible so that there is no delay once it is submitted. Even if the troop leader does not have the meetings information, submit the form so the startup funds can be authorized. This form needs to accompany the registrations for the troop, even if it is only the registration for the leader. The first section will include the date you submitted this form to your Membership and Community Development Specialist, the troop number that you have assigned, the service unit, the grade level for the troop, and the school district. This section is where you will complete all the information regarding the leadership of the troop. This will be extremely helpful for the leaders roster. The Startup Funds section describes the process for receiving the funds and the expectation that the funds be reimbursed so that they are available for other new troops. The last section is where you will record the meeting information if you have it. If you don't have it yet, don't worry. Submit the form anyway. That information can be received later. As a last step, remember to either have the leader sign or you as the registrar sign the form to authorize the startup funds disbursement. If you have any questions, let your Membership and Community Development Specialist know. Individually registered girls register using the girl registration form. The troop number assigned to them is either of the two codes listed, followed by the service unit number. It would be ideal if each service unit had a coordinator to ensure that these girls receive the same opportunities as other girls in the service unit when it comes to product sales and events. The example shown is a cadet in Service Unit 34. If she were an individually registered girl, her troop number would be 4934. For girls in Daisies through Juniors, 20 precedes the service unit number. This concludes Registrar training. Thank you so much for taking time to get trained for your role. Good luck, and we hope that you feel more confident in your ability to complete the duties for the Registrar position. Click the link to gain access to a quiz to complete. This will ensure that you receive credit for having taken the training session. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to contact the Volunteer Services Department or your Membership and Community Development Specialist. Thanks again, and good luck.